Alright, so we got a little WebBot report here. This is basically a July WebBot ALTA report. This is not an IDR report. ALTA reports examined in a different way than the IDR reports are done. So this is like old school WebBot report style summary. Starting off, this is actually a two-part video, and I'm gonna watch the other part of his audio, listen to it tonight, and do the part two. But this is the first part of it. So this report actually came out on July 8th. Markets, silver. Silver is in the surrounding the marketplace quite a bit. You know, stock market, markets basically. But there's this new keyword surrounding markets as a whole called darkening. From now to September, darkening has 39 clearly defined phrases within it. A period of darkening of efforts to go along with it. Bankruptcies, loss of wealth, loss of currency, currency problem by September, question mark, loss of a bank, and then I had my own notes here. Lehman Brothers, by the way, held the big short silver position for a long time, and now they're all gone. So that hot potato's been passed on. And is that something we're talking about? Probably not. Because here's one reason. A lot of German modifiers in this data set related to this, which he says, could this mean it's Deutsche Bank? And honestly, that could definitely be the bank that goes. As we step down from darkening, a side data set worth mentioning is for our Irish friends, red and white bannered insurance company. Also has to do with, I'm assuming, bailing out or not able to bail out, something of that nature maybe. A pension fund related to silver short positions. The pension fund apparently loses this bet. Fractures within alliances, trade agreements, all kinds of agreements, legal standing of some of these agreements is going to be happening very shortly. Bankruptcies will be related to fires, such as, for example, cover-ups, fraud, getting rid of docks. People's Liberation Army of China. A lot of data surrounding that particular name, that entity, and I didn't, again, this is a summary, so I don't include every single thing in my summary, but quite a bit of information just with that name coming up. So within that, People's Liberation of Army of China is an upcoming upheaval. Through fracturing of alliances. So this darkening keyword is real heavy around this. And there's what he thought looked like a third of Chinese brokers survive what is coming. Brokers, so stock market brokers. 1/3 of them survive what is coming. And I don't mean they're gonna, although WebBot could mean deaths. Literally, I don't think so in this, and that's not how he portrayed it. It was 1/3 survived this meltdown, this problem, this collapse, whatever. 3-day shutdown of Chinese stock market appears to be in the cards. Discussions going on during these 3 days in which secrets are revealed. So there's that keyword again. Documents, etc., coming up that also expose why the 3-day shutdown had happened in the first place, the real reason. Data points to August for the Chinese market problem. Anti-corruption cleansing will be taking place in China. Shutdown of transfer of wealth out of the country will be taking place. And while this does say August, and it does talk about this year, August, my always usual disclaimer, because I've seen the webbot give dates and they've come and gone, and then later on, the next year, 2 years later, whatever, they happen right when they said they would, except you missed the year, etc. So it can certainly be August of 2016 if this thing's rolling out from the end of this year through 2016, and this problems just get worse and worse and worse, right? To squeeze us and put some pain on us so we all feel pain and beg them to just make this go away. I don't think we're going to feel enough pain in a few months from the try to do this that quick. My personal opinion. I definitely think that the big collapse is going to start this year for sure. Hands down. So shutting down the transfer of wealth out of the country of China is going to take place, which you've already seen a little taste of that with them saying if you're a CEO, you can't sell your shares of your company for 6 months. So in other words, that's now a boat anchor tied to your leg, and as the market crashes, it's going to go down with you, so you can't get out of your own stock. If you had silver or gold in your possession, it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't be doing any of this because they realize hardly anyone has any. So we're not going to have to go capital controls on that. Nope. You could have gotten out easily. You can get out whenever you feel like getting out, is my point. The cracking down in China will also affect the price of silver. Western banks will be affected by this crackdown as well. So I have a feeling, and based off of what I've read here, it doesn't mean that the crackdown in China all of a sudden makes silver crash. It's going to be the opposite ultimately. Another big word here, and this is regarding silver actually. Transformation. Market's view on silver is that the market won't be happy with this transformation. Will have multi-generational impact, this transformation in silver. Lots of subsets in this. One being new silver coins in circulation and writing silver as opposed to spending paper. Anyone holding silver, this will be a good thing. Non-significant or smaller countries, let's say, will start using silver in circulation due to a real desperate need, such as their currency crashing, etc. Markets in general, huge crash coming, which not a shocker. Cross-linked to silver should peak in August. Reductions in silver needed to produce smartphones, cell phones, etc. due to that industry crashing. So let me give you my example. Oh, the new $600 iPhone. Oh, my new $400 smartphone. This event starts happening. These events, markets, pensions, you lost your job, 401k, all these things. Fast forward a little bit in the future. Oh, the new $600. Oh, I'm not buying that. Are you crazy? I gotta save my money, man. I can't do that right now. Are you crazy? Oh, the new 400 Android. Oh, hell, I can't buy that. Man, there's too many important things I gotta save my money for right now, man. But man, you used to buy all the new phones when they came. I know, but not no more, man. I can't do that. Leads to an industry crash. No, I don't know if you want to call it a crash, but a big hit in that industry. Cell phones, things like that. So it's saying reduction in silver needed in that industry because you're not going to be needing silver to put into smartphones when a whole lot of them aren't going to be ordered like they used to. So, not that that's going to matter, by the way. As if there's going to be a bunch of silver around because they stopped needing them in as much as in smartphone. No. There's going to be a much bigger need. Carriers will just about stop giving away free cell phones for signing up with them like they do now. Because again, they're not going to be in the position to do that either. Primary silver data set I have here. That was like a little bit of stuff on silver, but first thing out of the gate, the key word wrapped around this is wealth. Silver will run its own path, even though it is inside the larger, basically global market darkening subset. Silver will run its own path. Greeks and Turks go mining together. He says a Greek shipping oligarch, not necessarily a big oligarch, but a big player, not a top dog, but will put together what is looked at by the webbot anyways as some type of undersea mining company with the Greeks and the Turks mining in between their areas, their regions, for silver, metals. We'll have some success in funding and getting this going, successful in recovering and mining silver. A lot of that wealth subset keywords that are supporting that word wealth are supporting silver. One of them being a panic to own it. Might even see something, he says, for example, like, let's say $15 spot price, paper rigged price, but the premium is also $14 or $15 an ounce. So now you have $30 silver, but the spot price today is, $15. Get ready, and this, he said, this is not going to be exactly, soon all of a sudden you're just going to see this everywhere, but you're going to start seeing this ultimately over the near future. We buy silver signs all over the place. Will be the new signs you see all over in the coming short few years. Extreme behavior of people trying to recover silver from objects. So you're going to see those cell phone people, the electronics, or I got an old broken solar panel, taking huge efforts in their own time and labor and whatever to extract this tiny amount of silver from some object they have. Maybe them burning some old, 90% silver, spoons and, things like that from back in the day. Again, or taking apart some electronic device that they heard had silver in it and trying to melt it out of there somehow. That's what that means. So back to this anti-corruption thing it's going to be happening in China, which I think I skipped that line on accident. This is around the time when I said there was a 3-day shutdown in the market in the Chinese market. Data points to August for the Chinese market problem. Anti-corruption cleansing will be taking place in China, and then transfer of wealth out of the country is going to be shut down. So back to the anti-corruption, talking about that, comes to China, will also include silver. In other words, the club may have had some outfits in China or participants in China working with them, whether they're Chinese or not, in partially helping with the keeping of silver prices low. So this anti-corruption that kicks in by the Chinese authority breaks that up. Chinese authorities break that up. So it says there's indicators of $62 price for silver, and that is being noted as a small step in the price of silver. So much larger things to come. Last gasp on the way towards a constraint or bounding hardship. The club thinks they stopped the epic rise in price, and they're wrong. So he sees, or the webbot data sees, something happening in the near future, apparently. And what I couldn't make was it the club lets us have $62 silver somehow, because that's where they can finally put a cap on it when all this craziness happens shortly. And they're basically giving themselves high fives, in a little party. And we capped it. We were able to still do it. Thank God. Yes. Only to find out shortly after, or when a little while later, whatever. I'm not sure when. Price just absolutely skyrockets. So we didn't have a cap. We were prematurely giving each other high fives, and Actually, we didn't. What I wasn't sure was this when the price hit $62, are they giving each other high fives like, okay, we capped it here. Yes, it's a new high for everybody else, but for us, we've capped it. We're this is as high as it's going to go. And only to find out later it goes way higher. Or are they capping it somewhere in between now, price of silver today, so let's say $15 and something, to the $62 range, somewhere in between there, giving each other high fives. We capped it again, we're good. And then it goes past the $50 barrier, that's the psychological barrier for a lot of people, and goes to $62, which is one small step to another step. What I can tell you is it doesn't matter which one of those scenarios happens, because we know where it's going. And if there is a quote-unquote panic to own silver, I'm not going to tell you quick, look surprised, because I already felt that was going to happen one way or the other. And as these currency crises hit all over the place, based off of what the club is going to do, everyone wants a store of wealth. People are not going to accept these paper, phony, fiat currencies backed by nothing, which is going to be a mad scramble, mad dash to own precious metals. So, that is part one of the WebBot report, ALTA report. And tonight I'll read or listen to the rest of it, because he's doing them through audio now instead of writing them. I can't blame him. Why would he want to have to type all that up when he can just speak and do it that way? Makes more sense. And we'll have another part 2 session, I think, tomorrow. Take care.